Time for some more random gaming pickups again, this time from CEX and car boot sales. Alright everyone, hope you are doing well. Thank you for pressing play once again. I am the man they call Pixel Paul, and I'm back for another gaming pickups video. It's been a while, it's been a few weeks actually since I did a bit of a pickups video. I think the last one I did was all Xbox 360 as well. I had a bit of a 360 craze going on a couple of weeks ago. But thankfully, yes, we're back onto more kind of randomness that I am more probably known for, picking up games for any console at decent prices. That's me, you know the score already. So yeah, car boot sales, CEX, cash converters, a little bit of everything. So let's get into it. Right, so first up, I was back at the car boot sale, my usual car boot sale, the one in Horwich. I'm pointing that way. I know you guys can't see what I'm pointing to, but it's over that way. Yeah, usual car boot sale. It was a couple of weeks ago now. It was a couple of weeks ago. And it was one of those where you kind of go and you sort of get a feeling straight away. You think, I'm going to find some stuff today. And I did, to be honest. I didn't take it much footage. I think I took a little bit of footage, which you might be seeing now. But yeah, it was okay. It was quite busy. And I managed to find a few games at decent prices as well, actually. So the first one that I picked up, and these first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 were all from the same sellers. Bought from them before, quite a few times actually. First one that I picked up, and I thought this was a good price for this actually. I can't remember how much the other version goes for. Well, I'll explain what it is anyway. So, it's for the PSP, and it's Ridge Racers. And I say Ridge Racers because, yeah, it's the Japanese version of Ridge Racer on the PSP. And they call it Ridge Racers. Who knew? I didn't, I must admit. I was a bit naive to that. But yeah, Ridge Racers. £2 I paid for that. I'm not 100% sure how much Ridge Racer, the UK version, goes for in CEX at the moment, but I thought £2, well, £2 for any PSP is not PSP game is not too bad, to be fair. But yeah, Ridge Racers, I thought £2 was pretty good. Immaculate condition, and you'll see that, like, if you know the original version of Ridge Racer, which I have actually got next to me here, it is slightly different, the UMD for that, as is the instruction book. And I've got to mention, how great is that cover on the Japanese Ridge Racers compared to the UK version of Ridge Racer? Bland and boring, sleek, slick, colourful and nice. I like that version. I love that cover, and that's why I bought it, really, because I love that cover. It was just awesome, and for £2. But yeah, boring, cool, and even like inside the instruction booklet, I don't know why I'm comparing instruction booklets, but why not? Again, you know, the cover for the instruction booklet on the Japanese version and the UK version. Black, dull, boring, nice and colourful. And even inside, I mean, the only thing that's got going for the UK version, and nothing on the back of that one. But yeah, the Japanese instruction booklet, and I don't know if this is the same with all Japanese games. I'm not somebody who particularly buys imports and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just really sort of full of you know, in-screen shots and things like that. Really in-depth, actually, really in-depth. But yeah, it's just so much better. There was even a Japanese, some sort of like warranty card or something like that. I think it's from Namco, I'm not sure, but anyway, I digress. So yeah, Ridge Racers on the PSP, £2 paid for that one. I thought that was a nice little pickup, that one. Really happy with that, and I do love Ridge Racer, I do. The only problem is I can't play it at the moment, as I keep saying, because my PSP doesn't work. But one day I will get a new PSP at some point, hopefully. Right, next up, so I bought these three. These three were three for £5. And yeah, I think CEX wise, I'm pretty sure these come to something like £9 or £10 together. So 3 for £5, I thought, not bad that. In fairness, I must admit, there was just the one game. They had like a few trays of games, and they always say the ones on the floor in those trays are 3 for £5. And there was one game I spotted which I wanted, and I thought, well, if I can find another 2, I'll get 3 for £5. Because I think they charged like £2.50 each or something like that for them. The one that I wanted was actually, well, I'll show you the 2 that I sort of picked up to make up the £5. I've got Crysis 3 on Xbox 360, which I do have on PlayStation 3 already, I must admit. But it's a decent game, that one. Not as good as Crisis 2, I didn't think, personally. But yeah, Crisis 3, nice and complete these as well, by the way. I also picked up Enslaved Odyssey to the West, which is an unbelievably good game. A little rough around the edges, but I think it's a proper hidden gem. I know people don't like that phrase, but it is. Hidden gem. Well, it's not, because everybody knows about it now. Everybody knows it's a hidden gem, so it's not a hidden gem anymore. It's just a very sort of overlooked game. Let's call it that, shall we? Enslaved Odyssey to the West. But yeah, it's a really good game, that one. Andy Serkis did some of the voiceover work and the motion capture for it as well. If you've never played it, it's well worth a play. Enslaved Odyssey to the West. Do like that one. And then the one that I didn't have or hadn't had on any other console and wanted to grab was Iron Man 2. I don't know why. I don't really know why, but yeah, I've not played Iron Man 2 on anything, so just fancy getting it. I know it's a bit more, I don't know how much it is on CEX. I haven't done my usual look on CEX to see how much these were, or if I did, I can't remember what they were. But yeah, Iron Man 2. Again, really good condition. Nice and complete. This one, though, came with a little surprise bonus in it. So there's your Iron Man 2 manual. But also, hidden away in there was the manual for Spider-Man Edge of Time, which I don't have. But I do have the manual for it now. So, what to do? What to do with that? Maybe I need to get that Spider-Man game. I'm not sure about Edge of Time. I know the Spider-Man games are really expensive, highly collectible or highly thought of. I just don't remember them reviewing particularly well back in the day, but there's obviously a clamour for them, there's a market for them that's made them sort of increase in price a lot. I don't know if it's since the PlayStation 5 Spidey games came out, I'm not sure, but yeah, interesting to have the manual for Edge of Time. Was it Edge of Time? It was Edge of Time, wasn't it? Yeah, Edge of Time in there as well, bit of a bonus. I guess I could sell it maybe, or like I say, maybe if I think that one is one that is in the CEX rarities now. So maybe if I picked it up without manual for a little bit cheaper, and then put that in it. But yeah, Iron Man 2. That's the game that I was after anyway, and I will be giving that a go, give that a try, see what it's like. I think I know. And I also, the last one from those guys, Mega Drive game. I also got Tasmania. And I paid £5 for that again, which I thought was quite cheap, and I was right. I think in CEX, is it £9 or £10? And it was weird because I was only thinking of, I was actually thinking of Tasmania on the Super Nintendo, which I used to have, which is a little bit different to this version in that it was more like a Mode 7 kind of racer game almost, where you play as Taz, and it's more like almost like a 3D sort of racer type game, whereas this is just a very straightforward 2D platformer, and not a bad one at that actually. Quite difficult. It's not the easiest game ever, but yeah, for £5 I thought that was a decent buy. And again, very nice condition on this actually, nice and complete. There's the cart, instruction book. So yeah, for a £5 I thought I'm not going to pass that up. The box is even really clean and nice as well. So yeah, Tasmania on the Mega Drive. There's a little picture of some of the screenshots of the game, but yeah, it's not a bad game. It's not a bad little 2D platformer, that one. So yeah, quite happy with that one. Right, and then from so these next two, yeah, these two were from, again, a lad that was selling Mega Drive games a few weeks ago. You might remember me talking about him or some of the games that I picked up from him a few weeks ago, and I do remember coming away with about 4 games, I think, from him, 4 or 5 games. And I was sort of thinking straight after it, there's 1 or 2 in there that I wish I'd picked up. And luckily, he was back at this car boot sale, still trying to sell some of the Mega Drive games that he'd found in that guy's shed. So yeah, just went straight back to that box, and most of those games were still there, to be fair. There's a reason why a lot of those games are there, and I think because they're generally considered to be, again, I don't like this word for some types of games, but fodder. And I think that's a little bit unfair for some of these games, especially Mega Drive games. I don't think there's much in the way of fodder on Mega Drive. There are bad games and there are good games. I don't think there's games that are kind of these games get that kind of reputation because of the series they're linked to, and nowadays we're used to this series being released year after year after year. There was even a period where we were getting 2 games from this developer and from this series each year, you know, like with World Cup games and that sort of thing, so there's a little bit of a clue. But the original series, the original games in this series, you know, were pretty cutting edge for football, for soccer, for football. And yeah, they are kind of considered to be, you know, cheapy kind of filler type games, but I think that's a bit unfair personally. So what games did I get from him anyway? I'll better say answer. So I got FIFA 95 on the Mega Drive, so yeah, more Mega Drive, and I also got FIFA 97 on the Mega Drive. It says £5 on there, but these were £2.50 each, so a fiver for these 2 as well. And yeah, these were two games that I wish I'd sort of picked up weeks and weeks ago, and thankfully they were still there because everybody else has just dismissed them, and I think that's unfair personally. Like I said before, you know, FIFA on the Mega Drive and the SNES was, you know, revolutionary for football really in gaming, in my opinion and in most people's opinion, I think. In particular, sort of the original FIFA International Soccer, which I was trying to remember who was on the front cover of that, and it was David Platt, I think. Certainly in the UK anyway, it was David Platt. So that was the original, and I don't have that, and I have actually got FIFA 96 already. So I've got 95, 97, got 96. I wish I could find the original version of it now, and have those sort of 4 FIFA games. Are they that much different to each other? Well, actually, yeah. 97 obviously looks a lot kind of... there's a lot more detail to the graphics on 97. There's some different sort of like gameplay mechanics to it as well. There's also like the addition of indoor football, so like 5-a-side indoor football there. So they were kind of new elements to FIFA 97, but... and I should say that's David Ginola on the front, or Ginola, however you want to say it. Yeah, it's obviously the more sort of modern version. I have to say though, I really like FIFA 95. There's just a sort of very kind of, I don't want to say arcade because it's not an arcade football game, but it's just a bit more kind of straightforward, a bit more simple. Graphically, the visuals are just, I think, just a little bit cleaner, a little less cluttered, a little less pixelated even. I think this version looks a lot smoother. It's hard to show you the sort of comparison of the 2 games from the boxes, but yeah, I just prefer FIFA 95 over the later 16-bit FIFA games. I think this is the one. I think probably this was the first one I played. I think it was. And having said that, actually, I have got the original FIFA on the SNES, so I kind of have got the first one as well, but just not on the Mega Drive. Collector's itch there. Anyway, again, I'm just rambling and waffling on. £2.50 each for those 2. Really happy with that. Nice, cleaned up really nicely as well, those 2. So more Mega Drive games to go in my little Mega Drive square there. And I am running out of room, as I am with all of this. But yeah, I am running out of room a little bit for Mega Drive, because I've bought quite a few Mega Drive games over this year. Then another couple of pickups from the car boot sale. This was just a very sort of chance find. There was a few more football games just lying on the floor of this person's sales area. pitch, that's the word. I asked how much this one was. She said, oh, football games don't sell, just 50p for those. So I thought, why not? FA Premier League Football Manager 2000 on the PlayStation with a really nice box, very nice and complete, 50p for that. And like I said, sort of nice and complete, big chunky manual in that one as well, but really clean, actually, really nice looking clean disc, like it's barely been played, which may sort of tell you something perhaps. Will I play it? Maybe. Who knows, one day. But yeah, I thought for 50p, I'll pick that up. I paid with £1 and she gave me 50p change, of course, but she actually gave me a 50p that was quite rare. It's like a Sherlock Holmes 50p. I've not looked into how much they're worth. Probably not a lot, but probably worth more than 50p, so quids in. So yeah, PlayStation 1, FA Premier League, Football Manager 2000. And then the last one from the car boot sale. This one's a bit of a weird one recently. It's gone up in price quite a lot at CEX, and I don't really know why. I'm not sure what the reason is for it. It used to be, I think, about a £4, £5 game, something like that. It has recently gone up to £15 in CEX for some reason. And I wasn't sure if it was this one or the other one. So there's 2 games from this character on the Wii. Well, there's a few others, but it's Sonic and the Black Knight. And like I said, that's gone up to £15 recently for some reason. I wasn't 100% sure if I'd remembered it right, if it was the Secret Rings or whether it was the Black Knight, but I was pretty sure it was the Black Knight. So yeah, they had it, £5 paid for that. I've never had this one. I've not got it. I've never had it, played it, or anything like that. I don't think it's got a great reputation. It's one of those where some people really like it, and I think some people didn't like it. So who knows? But yeah, I'll probably give this a quick look actually. But yeah, £5. I thought let's get that while it's currently really, £15 in CEX. Anyone know the reasons? Do you know the reasons for why Sonic and the Black Knight has suddenly shot up in price recently? That's assuming it is still that price. It's been a few days, but yeah, £15 for this at the moment. Secret Rings hasn't moved, so why is this one? Weird, don't know. But yeah, Sonic and the Black Knight, £5, and that was my car boot sale booty. Cheers everyone. Right, moving on. So I've got a couple of pickups from Cash Converters. Yep, Cash Converters, not Cash Generator. So Cash Converters, was it the one in Bury? I think it was the one in Bury. I think it was anyway. I'm not 100% sure. God, I think I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my memories a little bit. No, it was Bury. So yeah, Cash Converters. Picked this one up. Daxter on the PSP. Paid $2.99 for that. I might have paid a little bit more than what it is at CEX. I think it's a little bit cheaper than that at CEX. Not a lot cheaper, I think. I've got a feeling it might be £2.50, but yeah, I thought I'd pick that one up because it's in decent condition as well, nice and complete. I have to say, I think that is one of the ugliest video game covers ever made. And there's a lot of bad video game covers, but for some reason I just don't like that cover. I don't know what it is. Not sure. I've never played Daxter. Played Jak and Daxter, obviously, but this one I haven't played. So yeah, I'll give that a go. I will forgive the front cover for £3. Yeah, and see what that's like. But yeah, that was Cash Converters. Then again from Cash Converters, and again I'm giving myself more problems for this space here because it's another Mega Drive game. I also picked up Mega Games 1, which was £3.99. Now, I can't find out how much this is in CEX at the moment, but certainly on eBay it tends to go for anywhere between £5 and £10, something like that. So yeah, for £3.99 I thought, Mega Drive game, boxed, nice and complete. Well, I say complete. Well, I better show you what's on it anyway. So Mega Games 1 is Super Hang-On, Columns and World Cup Italia 90. So Columns is a good game. We all know Columns, or you should know Columns anyway. Super Hang-On's not a bad little racer game. Super Bikes, sort of racing game. It's not a bad game at all, that one. World Cup Italia 90, football game again, obviously, is not great. It's not great, sadly. And it certainly doesn't look anything like that picture there. So yeah, World Cup Italia 90 is the Duff one. How it made it onto this collection, I don't know, but hey ho. But yeah, even the lady behind the till, when she was putting everything into the box for me, she said, "Oh, it's even come with a manual." And I was thinking, isn't it supposed to come with 3? I'm sure all these Mega Games ones were supposed to come with the manuals for all 3, but I'm not that fussed. So it did come with the Super Hang-On instructions manual, but there's no manual for Columns or World Cup Italia 90. But like I say, I'm not that fussed really. As long as the cartridge is there, and it is, I'm quite happy to pick it up for £3.99. So yeah, World Cup Italia 90. I did give it a quick go. It's not that great, but the other two are great. So £3.99 for that. Another Mega Drive game. And then the last few pickups are all from the Red Shop. They're all from CEX. Again, I've not taken any footage of CEX or anything like that particularly. So let's get straight into them. This one is a little bit of a what's the phrase? Speculate to accumulate. That's the right way around, isn't it? Speculate to accumulate. I got the Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. £1.50 paid for that. I just thought, do you know what? At that price, with the new film coming out, why not grab this now, just in case it kind of bounces up in price? And that's not the only reason I bought it. I actually quite like this game. I used to have it. I've played it. I think I even got I think 100%ed it on Xbox 360. So it's not that difficult. But yeah, I actually quite like this game. I don't think it's that bad. Again, it's sort of passed off as, movie tie-in, cheap kind of game. But I remember quite enjoying it and thinking it was actually a bit dumb, bit of fun. And I actually quite like these two movies as well. The two Fantastic Four original films. Yeah, they get looked on or frowned upon a little bit, but I think they're all right. They're okay, sort of kids' movies from back when, or back before Marvel, sort of took over the superhero universe. So, yeah, I don't mind that game. But yeah, I'm just wondering if that might just start to creep up in price a little bit over the next few months when the new Fantastic Four film comes out. We shall see. I've seen the trailer for that. The latest trailer actually looks quite good. The initial trailer was a bit underwhelmed, but the new trailer looks pretty good. So we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, bit of an underrated one, that one. I do quite like that game. And then the next two. So the next two are kind of linked in a way. Not linked games-wise, but linked to why I picked them up. There's a link to them. So both of these two games I've got on the Nintendo Wii. Yes, I'm duplicating more games again. One of them I never actually realised came out on anything other than the Wii. I thought it was a Wii exclusive. And that game is Nitro Bike. Now this is on the Wii. A real... I'm going to use it again. Hidden gem. It's a really decent racing game, this one. A little bit like Excite Bike and that kind of thing. But I'd go as far as saying it's one of the Wii's best racing games. Let me know if you disagree, but I think it is. But yeah, I just did not know that there was a PlayStation 2 version of it. So £2, I thought, I'm going to grab that because it's not often I do sort of pull out the Wii these days for whatever reason. But I did like this game, and I'm more likely to maybe play it on the PlayStation 2 now. So yeah, £2 paid for that. I'd never seen this on the PlayStation 2 anywhere ever before, so it was a bit of a pleasant surprise to see that one and pick it up. So happy with that. And then in the same vein, I have already got this for the Wii. I do love this kind of game. It's my kind of game. Aerial combat. I do love those games. Heat Seeker on PlayStation 2 as well. And yeah, that was £2.50 again, so it's a pretty cheap pickup. And I just thought, again, I'm more likely to play it on the PlayStation 2 than I am on the Wii, really. I think did I play it on the Wii? I've got a feeling I haven't actually played it on the Wii, so I am more likely probably to play it on the PlayStation 2. And it just looks like arcade, Ace Combat type fun. So yeah, quite looking forward to properly sort of giving this game a go now, Heat Seeker. So yeah, £2.50 paid for that one. And then the very last pickup, this was a bit of an unexpected surprise. Again, rarely see this one around. I can't remember the last time I actually saw it anywhere. I think the last time I saw this, the outer sleeve for it was like battered, so I didn't bother. But it is Infamous 2 Special Edition on the PlayStation 3, and I did pay £8 for that. That is the same price for the standard version of this as well. But yeah, this is the Special Edition version of it. If you've ever seen the Special Edition of Infamous, the original Infamous game, it's a really amazing looking cardboard sleeve with amazing artwork on it, and this is kind of similar in a way. So that's the sleeve. Again, this was in really nice condition as well, so that's what prompted me to get it, because these outer sleeves on PlayStation 3 games and Xbox 360, it can be really flimsy and can just really they just sort of tear, they snap. Whereas this is in really nice condition, very nice and clean actually. But that's the lenticular cover. I do love that noise, and you can see that's pretty smart. That does show up on camera quite well. So yeah, that's nice. And then inside you've got instruction booklet. But then, like I was saying, the artwork for this one's pretty smart as well. There's not as much artwork on this one as there is on the Infamous Special Edition. And that's the disc there. Because there's more... It's weird, they've actually used more kind of in-game pictures there. So they didn't do that on the Infamous Special Edition. But still, really love that. Really nice edition of what is an awesome game. I do prefer Infamous 2 over Infamous. So yeah, was quite happy to pay that £8 for that. But yeah, another nice little limited edition, sorry, special edition, lenticular sleeve for the collection. Very happy with that one. So those were the pickups for, well, not this week, but the last few weeks really, and very happy with those. Some decent buys there, I think, decent prices as well. These 4 Mega Drive games are going to give me a bit of a headache, as you know, I've got to fit them into there somehow. But yeah, happy. I do like picking up Mega Drive games now. It's one of my favourite finds. If I see a Mega Drive box and a Mega Drive game, I usually get very tempted to pick it up. So yeah, happy with those 4. Gonna let my cat out. Very happy with those 4. Bye. Yeah, happy with that one as well. There's a little story behind all of these games this time. It's quite nice actually. You know, the story with that price rise and getting that 50p change with Sherlock Holmes on it, and getting the Spider-Man manual with that one, and Silver Surfer, and yeah, just I quite like this pickup. I quite like this lot. So yeah, looking forward to getting them played, getting them into the shelves, and finding room for them. So we'll see how we go. Anyway, once again, I'm rambling. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me ramble. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.